Hey friends, Pastor Doug here as on a Teaching Tuesday. We are taking a look this week at worship, and I am excited to talk with you today and to help you process what it means to worship Jesus. What is worship? It's a good question, and I'll begin my answer by saying worship is a verb, and it is not the same thing as going to church. Let me explain. If I say I'm going to church, I'm talking about going to the building. If I'm talking about the church, I'm either talking about the building or the community that gathers in that building. Church is not worship. You can go to church Sunday after Sunday and not worship. I'm not trying to step on toes here, just pointing out that worship is more than stepping into the building or sitting through a service of worship. Next, let me say that worship really isn't defined by style. You can worship in a traditional service. You can worship in a contemporary service. You can worship in a blended service, a service that includes both traditional elements and contemporary elements. I'll remind us there are legitimate poses such as kneeling, prostrating oneself before God, and standing. Bowing our head is a sign of reverence and submission to God. These poses should occur, however, because the Spirit has moved you to those poses, not because someone told you to get in a certain position. So if worship isn't about music and pews and a sermon, just what is worship? Rory Noland, in his book Transforming Worship, says, "On Sundays, we're not simply attending a church service. We're going by divine invitation to meet with God and one another. It does not entail watching someone else converse with God or passively listening to a sermon. It requires all worshipers to take part in this dynamic dialogue with God." Worship is about having an encounter with the risen Christ, talking with Christ, listening to his voice, sometimes simply being in his presence and letting the Spirit work in and on us. Worship can happen anytime and in any place. May you have an encounter with Jesus. Talk with him, listen to him, bask in his presence. Let him know just how much you love him and want to follow him, bearing his likeness in this time and place. Thanks for watching today. Next week, we'll be getting into the season of Lent and taking a broad look at Lent and some of the practices around Lent as we move through this season and head towards Easter. So take care, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.